So actually, I'm going to share my screen here, and then I'll walk you through.
Okay.
Okay, so you could follow along, and all right, we'll see how it goes here. Okay, so all right.
Where did you build these VMs?
I have local.
Oh, okay, okay.
It's not much. I'll show you how to build this. If you have like bunch of old hardware, then you can have it working.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna just go through the material I already gave you.
Okay.
But I'll walk you through here because looking at stuff, what you're looking at, if you don't know, then it's gonna be a bit of a challenge. So give me a moment here. Flipping. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is um, just walk you through this, and I will see here. So the very first thing you would do is hit enter. Hit enter
Okay.
a few times. What it does, it will accept your command, and it goes to next line here. Okay,
Okay.
so whatever you're logged in right now, this is this is where you're going to be living your life as a Linux admin.
Yep, yep, yep.
So what this is called command line. So this is CLI. Okay, so command line interface. Okay, CLI, command line interface. All right, I need to. Where is the controls here?
How come these servers go unresponsive within a few minutes?
Oh, so what you have to do is, yeah, you're logged out.
Yeah, I get logged out after like a little bit.
Um, so you have to change the keep alive.
Oh, okay.
Keep alive. I'm not sure how you could do that in. Just search it up.
Is it installed in the server? Keep alive, maybe?
Uh, that is something you would need. You just have to change the terminal configuration.
Oh, okay, okay.
Okay, so this is a command line interface here. Okay, so let's see here. So the very first command is clear. When you hit enter, it goes from one line to another line. So when you type clear, that's what it is. Sounds like it clears the
Okay.
screen. Okay, and all right, I'm gonna be pausing back and forth because there's gonna be I'm checking in my work here. Okay, so very real first command is pwd. Okay,
Uh-huh.
pwd.
Yep.
That means, what does pw stands for?
Present working directory.
Yeah, present working directory, or the official one is print working directory. That's what it stands for. But I call it a present working directory. It makes sense here. When you log into the system,
Uh-huh.
this is your directory for
Uh-huh.
this guy root. So the directory name is root itself.
Okay.
Okay, so this is a pwd. Now, what I'm gonna do is, so what we typed in here is a command. Okay, this is a command,
Uh-huh.
and this is called a input command.
Okay.
So let me have your notes here. I'm gonna make notes for you, okay, so that you learn better. So when you hit enter, enter will accept the command and take you to the next line. Okay, that's what happened here. Enter. And also, if you need some spaces, that's what you use enter for. All right, when you type clear, it clears the screen. By the way, everything in Linux is lowercase. If you have something come up, if you have something come up that is an uppercase, it's more than likely it's in lowercase. Okay.
Yep. Yep.
All right, so it clears the screen here. Now the next command is pwd. So this is officially it's print working directory, or I call it present working directory. All right, now for the root, this is the home directory. So if you log into the system, if you're coming into your home, you come in through the door and then you come somewhere, right? Either you come into the garage or you come into the living room or somewhere.
Uh-huh.
So the user here, root, this is his home directory. That means this is the entry point for operating system for the root users entry point to the operating system. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So home directory is this is your landing directory or entry point of a user to operating system, Linux system. Okay, so this is what we got. So this is what it is. Since we are using a root user, this is what it is. Okay, all right. Now let's move on, and so I explained you input. So what is input? Any command you put in type is considered input. And clear and PWD are example of input. Okay, now the second part of input, you get output. This is not a command, this is just a concept. Output is the result of input. Okay, so what do you, so when I type out, when I type clear, output of the clear command is just to clear the screen so we don't see anything. But when you type pwd, what is the output here? Output is you see on the screen here, which is the result.
Yep.
Okay, so in this case, this is output. And this is input command. Okay, now once you have this here, all right, so let's move on. Let's get a real command to use. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear the screen, and I'm going to say ls here. Okay, when you type ls, there is nothing here. But what I'm going to do is, let's create a blank file, which is called touch file1. Okay, so touch file1, what it does is it creates a file. Okay, so it creates a file, and whatever the file name you gave you, it creates that file with that name here. Alright, so we created the file, but we don't know if it really created or not. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to do ls here. So ls says file1. So ls command, it creates a file. I'm sorry, ls command will show you list of files in that specific directory. List of files in the specific directory. All right, so as I mentioned you, these are auto correcting itself, so these are all lowercase commands. Okay, now if you want to see a little bit more information about a file, what you do is you add a switch there, ls-l, and hit enter. What you have is a bit more information about the name file. Okay, so ls-l -l is considered a switch. to a command. Okay, and this provides long list information. All right. So you have all kind of good information here, right? So what do you got here? Okay, so uh, this is the information we're gonna go into great detail later on. Um, but okay, what is happening here? Shoot. So over here you have file information, and then these are the things I'm gonna go into lot more detail here. Okay. So for now, we're not going to go in detail because it's a whole different topic for this. All right. So, all right. Now, what I'm going to do is, oh, and you want more files here, multiple files here. So what I'm going to do is touch. We already have file 1 here, right? I'm going to do file 2, file 3, file 4. Okay, so what is happening is you are creating 3 files in one shot.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So now if I do, by the way, if you want to bring up a command, what do? You don't want to type it. If you want to bring up a command, what you do is you push the up arrow key on the keyboard. You have 4 keys together, right? Up, down, sideways. So if you just bring the line up here, it has a history here. So so you gotta be a bit careful here when you're doing this, okay? So I'm gonna stop at ls-l, and now all of a sudden I have 4 files here. Alright, so I'm gonna say create multiple. Alright, so this is gonna create multiple files for you, okay? Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a few more files with a different name here. X1, X file 1, X file 2, X file 3, X file 4. Okay, and then I'm gonna say touch doc 1, doc 2, doc 3, doc 4, and then I'm gonna hit enter here. Now what will happen here is if I do ls-l, you have bunch of files in here. Okay, now it's getting complex. Usually you would have like a lot of files in there, hundreds of files, thousands of files in there.
Yeah.
So for that, what you could do is you could run some filtering commands here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do ls-l, and then I'm going to do D as in David and an asterisk. So what it's going to do is it's going to filter out everything, and anything that is starting with D is going to bring those files up, okay? So if I do that, now you see anything that starts with D is coming up here.
Can you also use grep here or no?
Use what?
Grep.
No, I'm coming there.
Okay.
Yeah, so I know you have a bit of knowledge here, but let me finish this.
Yeah, yeah, no worries.
So now, so I have these files here. Okay, also you could do double L, LSFNL or double L. It will give you the same information. Now, what I'm going to do is, I want to get a name of the file. I don't care what it starts with. I would just want to see a file that ends with number 2. Okay? And I hit enter. So what Linux did was it found a file which is ending with number 2 here. If you put asterisk in the front and you say, oh, I don't know what the file name is, but I know a little bit that the file ends with number 2. So what you're going to do is you're going to filter this out and bring this out. That file is, whichever file is ending with number 2, you could see that output. Okay, and also if you know the name of the file that starts with, you don't remember the name of the file that starts with or ends with, but you kind of remember, oh, the file might have a little text in the middle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say ls-l. Okay, start of the file, I don't know, but I remember the file might have like L in the middle and IL in the middle, and I don't know what it ends with. So what the system is going to do is it's going to go through the list of files in the directory and then matches whichever file has IL in it, and it will bring up to you. Oh, okay, so we have about 8 files here which has IL in it. Why? Because you see, obviously IL is in here, IL is in all these files here. Okay, so that's how you use filtering and manipulate your result. All right, now the next command I'm going to show you is history. History keeps the history of your files, okay? I'm sorry, not the files. It keeps the history of your commands you've been using. So don't be surprised if you see like 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, 10,000 lines in the history. That means that you have that much information in there.
Uh-huh.
And you could go back and run the command from the history. So for example, if I run a command, so let's see here. So for example, I want to run a command from the history, right? I want to run a command number 81. Command number 81 is ls-l d asterisk. Instead of copying and pasting it, sometimes the command get way too long. Okay, so what you have to do is you have to just type an exclamation and the number from the history. So I'm running, what is the number associated with this command? 81, right?
Mm.
So I'll just type 81 and then I'll hit enter, and there you go. It it ran that command from the history and is actually giving you what command it ran. So this is what the history is useful for. I use history all the time, almost every day. I go
Okay.
in and check out what's in the history, what has been done to the system. You could clearly see in there.
Now, history, quick question. History is user specific or any user that's been on the
User
box
specific.
can see that?
User
Okay.
specific. Definitely user specific. One user cannot see the other user history, but if you're working
Yeah.
as a root,
Yeah.
most of the time you end up being a root guy, so you could see what other
Okay.
system admins did it. Okay, so now if I type who and hit enter, it gives you the list of people who are connected here. So right now, this is my own server, so nobody else is connected as to myself as a root. But let's see here into the jump box. Okay, if I clear and if I type who here, oh, I could see here. Zafar01 is logged in right now once. Hamza is logged in as 3 times, and then Zafar01 is logged in again. And then it will show you your IP address. And I mean, Linux operating system, it captures a lot of data about each and every activity. So you could see how that is being used here, okay? Who shows the list of users connected to the system, also shows the IP address and date stamp. Okay, so now moving along, let me clear the screen here. So now what you do is I want to get rid of some files here, okay? So how do I do that? I want to get rid of file 1. So what I do is rm -rf, and most of the time I copy and paste the file name. Reason because you have to be very accurate. So if I double click on it, it highlights the file. When something is highlighted, it's already copied in putty here. I think it's the same thing with a terminal also. All I do is just right click here, and then the file name is pasted there. And I'll hit enter, and you don't see any output here. But if I do ls-l and the file name, so the file is gone. There is no file in the directory anymore. So you use rm-rf command. rm space hyphen rf and the file 1 to remove that specific file here. What if you want to remove multiple files here? Okay, you want to remove everything that is file 1, file that starts with file. So I'm going to go back here, and then I'm going to do F and asterisk, and I hit enter. So the file 1 is there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back here and I'm going to say rm space hyphen rf and asterisk and hit enter. And if I go back up here like this, the file doesn't exist anymore. Okay, the files are gone. So as a root and an admin, you gotta be careful where you're typing and all this here. It all matters here. And in Linux, there is no going back. Once you remove the file, it's gone. There is no such thing as undoing it unless you go back into the backups and remove it, bring it back from the backups here. Okay. All
What do you
right.
mean by backups?
Yeah, the backups. Most big corporations, they have like a backup system running.
Oh, okay, okay.
So most of the time, as a Linux administrator, you don't have to worry about who's doing the backup. In the
Okay.
usually in the big environment, the backups are done by a different team.
Like a
You just give
storage
them
team
the,
or something?
huh?
Like a storage team or something?
Yeah, definitely storage team.
Okay, okay.
And then there is also VMware team and all those things are. But if you are in a big enough environment, a big enough, I would say like 500 or more servers, that's a big environment. You would have enough work to work on the operating system itself. So you most of the time you don't have to worry about those stuff here. But if you are like in a huge enterprise, even better. You don't have a headache of managing the backups, or you don't have a headache of managing even more stuff. All right. So moving along, we removed the file and we deleted remove file and delete multiple files. Okay, so over here, okay, all right, good. Now what we're gonna do is um, I'm gonna so here let me clear the screen. Let me do double L. So these are all the files that are left in the directory here. Suppose I want to get rid of all the files in the directory. So what I'm going to do is rm hyphen rf and just do the simple asterisk. When I do this, it will delete everything in the directory. All the files are gone. Okay, so this is a dangerous command here. You use it very cautiously, okay? And so why is it dangerous? Because it deletes all the files here and you have to be a bit careful. Most of the time I'm just very careful what I'm deleting.
Yeah, I should double, triple check before deleting, right?
Yeah. Okay, so now so we have cautious, use caution deleting this. Alright, so that is there. Alright, and now moving along, let me clear the screen and let me do ls hyphen la. So if I do ls hyphen l, there is nothing there, right? But if I do ls hyphen la, oh, there are some more files in here. Okay, what are these files? These are hidden files. Okay, these are hidden files, and you could see the hidden files with a extra a added to I hyphen l. Okay, hyphen a switch show you all the files, including hidden files, okay, and a hidden file and folders, okay. It also shows you the folders. Starts with a period, a dot. If you look carefully here, all these files have a little dot in front of it. A little dot is very important in Linux. You will learn later on what it means, okay. So now if you notice, all these files has a little period in front of it. Do you agree?
Yes.
Or you could do ls-a, and you see all these files are like a period in front of it, a little period. If you do touch a period and file 1, then if you do regular ls-l, you're not going to see anything. If you do ls-la, you do see your hidden file in here, okay. And the process is for removing the hidden file is the same. You just have to do rm-rf and then rm-rf and then file 1. Then you could remove the hidden file here. If you don't put a period, and then if the regular file was there with the same name, then it will delete that file. So yeah, so you have to be a bit cautious using this. So let's see here. Okay. Alright, you use that, and this is where the hidden file is, and then you removed it, and then if you do ls-la, that hidden file is gone, okay. Alright, now moving along. So and same thing, if you want to create multiple hidden files, you could do that to touch a period, a file name, and you could go around like that too, okay. Alright, so the other stuff here you're saying hidden, I'll explain you later in the course. And so what I'm gonna do is let's create a directory here. So far we've been working on files. Let's create a directory. Okay, so to create a directory, the command is
okay.
Alright, so I'm gonna do this here, a little assign menu. Okay, so I'm gonna do the directory command mkdir, and I'm gonna say Chicago. Okay, and if I do ls, I see Chicago here. Now you see a bit color in there. Why? Because it is a directory. And if I do ls-l, if you notice here, there is a little D over here. That means it's representing a directory. So here you see, let me change the color. How do I do this? Okay, you see here. What? Oh God. Okay, so you see here, right? When you see D here, that means directory.
Okay.
And what does that mean? This is for this file. And these are the permissions here. So I'm gonna go through all this is later on, and what this is, this is a timestamp, and yeah, there are a lot of info. When you're looking at that, there's a lot of information that is there. So we'll go over all that when we move along in the course here. So we did mkdir is a command to create a directory. Okay. Now what we're gonna do is we created a directory is nothing but a folder here. Okay, or folder. Okay, what time is it? 10:15. Give me 1 second here.
If you want to cut the class at this point, that's fine. I also need to
You know
log
what? Yeah,
into work
let's
in like
stop it
15
here.
minutes.
Yeah, let's stop it here. We'll catch up tomorrow.
Okay.
And what I'll do is I'll upload this. What I've created here, I upload this to your website, and then you could check there. And
Okay.
I'm recording too, so I'll put this on YouTube, and you could check
Okay.
it out over there. Okay.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Okay.